Hey, so I don't know how the framing is because I'm using my back camera, but it was my last day at work and it was really bittersweet. And my coworkers were so sweet to me. One of my coworkers actually baked me these gluten-free, dairy-free cupcakes. They're coffee cake muffins. And basically the story behind it is at work, there was always coffee cake muffins there, but they of course had dairy and gluten. So my coworker who really likes baking asked me what I would like, and it was so sweet. He found this recipe. So I'm so thankful. They're so yummy. Also, if you can hear any noise in the background, it's my husband playing piano. I love Beethoven. He's playing Beethoven Sonata. Anyway, yeah, it's just been a nice day. I feel emotional about leaving Waco so soon. We have like 2 weeks left here, and it was my last day at work as well as my husband's. But you know, I'm really excited to see where everything takes me when we move. And yeah, I'm feeling really grateful for the time I have spent here in Waco, Texas. So today, my husband and I are driving to Austin to meet up with some friends who we haven't seen in like over a year. So we're really looking forward to seeing them. We're gonna go to this place called Kirby Lane that serves some really nice food. They have great gluten-free, dairy-free options, but I just wanted to hop on here and let y'all know I am about halfway through House of Hollow, and so far I am really enjoying it. The writing style is so beautiful. It's very whimsical, which is very fitting for the book. It's kind of described as a dark fairy tale, and it has some horror elements, which I'm really enjoying. And it kind of makes things that are traditionally beautiful, like flowers and things like that, very haunting, which I think is done really interestingly, and I'm really enjoying it. I love how it is very focused on sisters. It's always really nice reading about sisters, and I think this may be really high rated. I'm really excited. It may be a 4.5 star read for me because I'm just really enjoying it. And I just love the eerie atmosphere, and it's very visual. And I've talked about this before. Sometimes I struggle with visualizing things, but I'm not really struggling in this book, which I'm really thankful for. And the visuals are just really nice to imagine. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm hoping to listen to some of the audiobook on the way to Austin. And yeah, I will update you all. I'll try to get some nice food content pictures, and I'm really excited. All right, so sometimes I forget to even tell you all what the book I'm reading is about. So I'm gonna read the inside of the cover for this. And this is a dark fantasy, and it is a YA novel. So I usually wouldn't pick this up, but first of all, the cover was so beautiful, I had to grab it because it was so gorgeous, and I knew I wanted to do a cover recreation. And second of all, I've been hearing really good things about it. So on the inside, it says, Iris Hollow and her 2 older sisters are unquestionably strange. As children, they disappeared on a Scottish city street, only to return a month later with no memory of what happened to them or where they'd been. More troubling, their appearance began to change. Their blue eyes now black, their dark hair now white, and as they grew older, odd, eerie occurrences seemed to follow in their wake. People find them disturbingly intoxicating, unbearably beautiful, and inexplicably dangerous. Now 17-year-old Iris is doing all she can to fit in and graduate high school on time. Something her 2 famous, glamorous, globe-trotting older sisters, Gray and Vivi, never managed to do. But when Gray goes missing, leaving behind bizarre clues as to her whereabouts, Iris and Vivi are left to find her, but they aren't the only ones looking. As they brush against the supernatural, Iris quickly realizes that the story she's been told about their past is unraveling, and the world that returned them seemingly unharmed 10 years ago might just be calling them back again. Hey, so I doubt the quality here is good, but I wanted to show you my reading setup today. It is raining outside. I don't know if it's being picked up on video, but it's raining. I have this beautiful setup over here, and today I'm going to be hopefully finishing my book, House of Hollow. I love that sound. It's so relaxing. So yeah, it's raining here, obviously, and I'm on chapter 15 of The House of Hollow, and I'm absolutely loving it. The atmosphere is beautiful, and so I'll be reading this, and then today I'll also be reading The Maidens, and I filmed some more content for my other vlog for that, reading Gabby Reed's favorite books. So I'm going to be reading this and The Maidens, but I will update you on this vlog on my thoughts on The House of Hollow very soon. Hey, so I'm just hanging out on my couch with my bunny down here. He's being super cute and sweet and will not stop licking me, as you can see. He's licking my knee at the moment. He's really affectionate right now. But I wanted to hop on here and give you an update on House of Hollow. And oh my gosh, the writing style on this is, oh, it's so beautiful. So a passage really stuck out to me in this book. I'm reading it, and currently I just finished this page 199, and I actually just had to tab this because the writing was so beautiful, and this kind of idea and concept is so haunting, and that's something that this book is doing so well. It's taking things that are normally beautiful, such as flowers and beauty, and making them almost scary and dark and haunting. And I think that's so cool about this book. It's so atmospheric, and it's just such a good dark fairy tale. I think that's a great description of what this book is. I want to read a portion of it that really stuck out to me, and I will put up on the screen a spoiler alert, and you can skip ahead. I'll also have it in the timestamps. But I want to read this section because it's just such a cool concept, and I love it. What is it? The halfway. My sister seems to think it's somewhere between life and death. Your sister is right. It's a liminal place on the borders of the living and the dead, though I thought of it more as a kind of hell. Everything that dies passes through there. People, animals, plants. Most things move on quickly, as they're supposed to, but some things get stuck. Humans, usually. The ones who can't let go or who are mourned too deeply by those they leave behind. There's an old folk song, The Unquiet Grave, perhaps you know it. So the thing that really stuck out to me is it's this halfway point, and the ones who can't escape are the ones who are being mourned and missed so much on Earth. And I just found that concept really beautiful and yet very haunting, that it's like the people on Earth have this power to kind of hold these people in limbo because they're so missed. And that just really impacted me. I think the writing of this is exceptional, and this may be a 5-star read for me because it's just really impacting me. It's hitting home. And I usually wouldn't pick up this, but I'm so glad that the cover was so enticing to me. It was so beautiful, and I heard some really good reviews, so I decided to pick it up. It's definitely different than what I would normally read. It still is haunting, and it's sort of horror, not fully though, and I'm just really enjoying it so far, so I wanted to share that. So I'm gonna jump on here and give you my wrap up of The House of Hollow. First of all, I was talking with Sarah from Sarah's Shelves, and we both agreed that there's just this feeling you get when you read a book and realize this is a 5-star read. And this feeling happened towards the end, and there was something that happened that was so sad and heartbreaking and beautiful and moving towards the end. And as soon as I figured out what all had been going on this whole time, I was like, 5-star read, 5-star read. So first of all, the story was beautiful. It was intoxicating. The writing in here was just impeccable. It was like nothing I'd ever read. And I generally read thrillers, and thrillers have a writing style usually that's really fast paced. It's not lyrical, whereas this was a nice, haunting book where I got to experience some different sort of writing. So first of all, love the writing style. And I shared some of my other thoughts earlier in the vlog, but I do want to say it was moving. It really made me think, and there were some genuinely intense parts, and I really enjoyed it. So one of the sisters, Gray, is actually this fashion designer, and she makes these beautiful garments, and I found reading about them really, really interesting. I love fashion, and I loved hearing about how she stitched in some personal messages in them. I thought that was really cool. It was just so easy to fall into this book and go down the rabbit hole and enjoy it, and I don't know how else to summarize my thoughts. I just absolutely loved it. So I would highly recommend this book, and I definitely believe it lives up to the hype. I also really had fun recreating the cover, and I'm going to insert some footage here of me doing that. Hey, so I just wanted to pop on here and give you all an update. So yesterday I went and got my nails done for my birthday, and I am absolutely obsessed with them. I have never loved my nails so much in my life. I went in and I told the woman who was doing my nails that I wanted them to be book themed because of my booktube channel and obviously my obsession with books. And so I showed her this inspiration picture, and they look so good. I like them better than the pictures, so I'm gonna hold them up. So right here, as you can see, are my fingers, and then this side. And then my favorite part is the thumbs. They're absolutely stunning. I don't know how well it's focusing right now, but absolutely obsessed with my nails. They're so cute. I just feel so, I don't know, just so happy to have nails. Usually I can't have my nails done because I work at a coffee shop. And so in the food industry, it's hard to have your nails done, as well as just, you know, I'm a musician, so as a violinist, I can't really have my nails long. And so I usually don't have my nails done, but I was really excited to go get them done yesterday, which was so exciting. And she was so cool. We were talking about horror, we were talking about books we like. She really loved Home Before Dark by Riley Sager, which made my heart so freaking happy. I love Riley Sager. That's no surprise to anyone here. But I wanted to update on what I got for my birthday. And first of all, speaking of Riley Sager, my husband pre-ordered Survive the Night for me, which was so exciting. I was so excited to hear that that was one of the books he chose for me. So I'm so excited to read that book. That is my most anticipated book of the year. And I really hope that it arrives actually on the day it's released. Amazon said it should, so fingers crossed it does, because hopefully I can drop everything that day and read that book right away once I get it. But the other books he got me were The Lake by Natasha Preston, which I'm really excited to read. It looks like the perfect summer thriller, and I'm actually going to be making a video soon talking about great thrillers to read during the summer, and this is definitely going to be on there because it takes place at a summer camp and it is just the perfect summer vibes. So I've been really wanting to read this, so I'm really excited to read this. Also, Mina is going to be reading this for her book club, which I'm really excited. I'll put all the information for that below in the description box. And then the other book my husband got for me is The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. This is such a hard title to say and also to write out. It's just such a long title, but I've been wanting to read this for so long. The cover is absolutely stunning. I am so excited to dive into it, and I think it will be right up my alley. I've heard that there are some scenes that really stick with you, and I'm just really excited, so I'm really thankful for that. He also made me mimosas this morning, and it's just, whoa, there's a fly, hello. He also made me mimosas this morning, which was really sweet, and we've just been having a good day. And then my parents actually picked out this book for me, The Photographer, from my wish list, so I'm really thankful for that. It was on my most anticipated thrillers to read for this summer, so I'm really excited. And I love the cover. I know I always comment on the cover, but I literally cannot help myself. Like, if I like a cover, I'm gonna say it. So I love the cover. Also, I wanted to show what my other friends got me. So I got from Naomi Local Woman Missing, which I've heard really, really good things about, so I'm really excited to read this as well. So thank you so much, girl. And then I got The Sanatorium by my friend Alex. Thank you so much as well. I'm really excited to read this. It says it is a gothic thriller. The setting looks really good, and I know there's some mixed reviews on it, but I really hope I love it. And I think I may save this for the fall or the winter, just so I read it, you know, when it's snowy outside. And yeah, I'm really excited. So thank you so much for these books. And I will be holding reading sprints later tonight. I'm actually going to be reading The Maidens, which is obviously another super anticipated book for me. And I'm just really excited to read that tonight. So that's my update for today. And yeah, talk to y'all soon. I am currently hosting an ambiance sprint. We are listening to relaxing forest sounds, which is awesome, and I just absolutely love ambiance. But yeah, I've been reading The Maidens. I started it and I'm absolutely adoring it so far. Hi, so I thought I would jump on here for a quick update. It's been a really busy past couple days, but I wanted to hop on here and let you all know what's been going on. So first of all, Sarah from Sarah's Shelves gifted me this book, The Invited by Jennifer McMahon, and I am so thankful. Thank you so much, Sarah. This was on my TBR for last month, and I just hadn't gotten to it yet. So this is a haunted house thriller book that looks very, very good. And I think we're gonna buddy read this together. So I'm really looking forward to that. I also just really like how this paperback feels. Do you ever get paperbacks where you're like, this is just a solid floppy paperback? Like it's a good paperback. I always am more judgmental of paperbacks versus hardcovers, because hardcovers are usually nice always, but paperbacks can be really good or really bad. Anyway, that's a tangent. But I wanted to update you. So I've been buddy reading the Amityville Horror with Jordaline over at Jordaline Reads here on YouTube. I love her channel and her so much. She's such a funny person. I always crack up while I'm watching her videos, and she has some amazing horror book recommendations. So if you're not already following her, please go check her out. Her content is amazing, and she's just such a funny, cool human being. But we started the Amityville Horror, and so far, I'm about halfway through, and I have some thoughts that I wanted to talk about with you all. So, also, before I get into that, look at this cute haunted house bookmark. I thought it was perfect for reading the Amityville Horror because haunted house. So, love it. This is from A Stranger Dream. So, my thoughts so far on this book, I have not seen the movie, and I'm going to be watching that at the end of this vlog probably, which I'm very excited for because I know it's a classic horror movie. But my thoughts so far are this is definitely dated. So if you don't know what this is about a family moving into this beautiful house on, what's it called? Something Ocean Lane. They always say what it is and I'm blanking right now. But they move into this beautiful, huge house and they get a really good deal on it because no one wants to move into this house. And the reason people don't want to move there is there was a murder and massacre committed there. So the son of this family went and killed his parents and siblings the prior year. So no one wants to go there because they are worried about the bad energy in the house. This family, they're like, whatever, we don't care. It's an awesome deal, which is never a good idea. But they go for it and they move in and things start happening. And a lot of things start happening very quickly. I will say that. There's not much of a build. It just kind of all of a sudden everything's going on, which could be a good thing for some people and could be a bad thing for others. I usually like a little bit more build of tension, but also at the same time, it's interesting because things are already happening. And this book is pretty short, so that kind of makes sense that the author sort of cut to the chase. Another thing about this is it's very, very dated. So they're talking about whipping the kids a lot, and like the husband is always like, wife, like get your kids in line. So it's definitely dated, and I don't like the husband, how he treats his family. I almost dropped this. Yeah, how he treats his family is just really irritating to read about. I will say it hasn't been that scary. However, there was one part, and I don't really want to give it away, but I will say the husband's downstairs and he's looking up at the second story window where his daughter is. So he looks up and he sees something, and that part was pretty creepy because of what he saw. It's something that's kind of scary to me. And so that freaked me out a little bit. I noticed something was a little off with the narrator and I couldn't place what it was. And then Jordaline was like, did you notice that the narrator literally doesn't change his voice for like his children, like his little girl, he's still speaking in like a really deep, low voice when he's like imitating what she's saying and speaking out her dialogue. And I was like, no, I did not notice that. But after she said that, I immediately cannot unhear that. And also, I myself noticed something was off about the narrator. I just couldn't figure out like what it was. So that is something to keep in mind. So the person who's narrating this audiobook is not a great narrator, but I still am probably going to be consuming this book by listening to it because I'm packing and it's just much more convenient. And I was listening the other day in the car on my road trip to go see my friends. It's sad, I'm getting emotional because we are leaving soon and I won't be able to see my friends in Dallas as much, so that's really sad. But that's my update. My friend made me macaroons, which is super sweet for my birthday. And yeah, I've just been packing today. And I will talk to you all soon and update you. Hello, so it is 12:30 at night right now, so I'm really tired, but I wanted to share my thoughts because it's fresh in my mind, and I just watched the Amityville Horror. I watched the 2005 version. I was really torn which one I wanted to watch first because I wanted to watch both of them, because I have been hearing that they're both good for different reasons. I know a lot of people don't like the remake, but I wanted to give it a shot. So it totally deviated from the story, which was interesting. And it was so fun watching it though, because I saw a lot of things that were very classic early 2000s, like the camera like panning certain ways, like doing that thing where it does the panning around the people talking, and the music. It was very dated, but it was kind of fun. I don't know. I liked having that early 2000s vibe. So it was kind of a fun time. I know it's pretty cheesy and it's not super scary. There was a few parts that were like jump scares. I liked that they went into kind of like the history behind the house, like what happened in the basement underground the house. I like that about the movie. That wasn't gone into in the book, so that was something I liked about the movie. I also thought it got pretty tense towards the end without giving anything away, so I enjoyed watching the movie. My husband and I both enjoyed it. It wasn't like an amazing horror movie or anything, but we had a fun time tonight watching it. So I'm probably gonna watch the original tomorrow, hopefully. And unfortunately, both of these are not on any of the streaming platforms that I usually use. I use Hulu, Amazon Prime, and Netflix. So I had to rent this one, and I'm gonna have to rent the other one. It's only like $4 each, so it's fine. But usually I try to watch stuff that's free on those platforms that I already have. But yeah, it was a fun time. I went and got some drinks with some coworkers earlier in the night, which was really, really fun. I went to this bar that was 80s themed, so they had the Breakfast Club playing, and I've been there one other time. It was so fun. It was like the Breakfast Club. They also had E.T. It was kind of like a montage of 80s films, and then they had 80s music, and the drinks were really, really good. They brought us our checks in old paperbacks. Last time I had Goosebumps, this time I had another one. I can't remember what it was, but it was like a spooky one. So yeah, it was really fun. And I got this strawberry limeade with rum in it, and then I also got a Mai Tai. So yeah, I had a really good night. I've been packing all day, and yeah, that's my update for tonight. Hello, I'm going to share my thoughts about the Amityville Horror today. I wrote some notes actually on this piece of paper, so I'm going to refer to it. But sometimes when I read, I jot down little notes, but they're never in a really organized manner. Like I'll just pick up a scrap piece of paper like this and start just like writing really fast, just random things. And so I actually do have a journal that's a reading journal where I want to start actually being a little bit more organized, and while I'm reading, if I have a thought, either put it there or at least on my phone. But I was not feeling very organized, so I just grabbed this sheet of paper. Let me know in the comments if you all do something like that, like if you have a reading journal or if you just grab a scrap of paper and write on it. But overall, I gave the Amityville Horror a 3.5 star rating. I enjoyed it, actually more than I thought I would. I kind of thought that I wouldn't be super interested in it because I have heard a lot of people talk about how it's not really scary. And I agree, it's not scary for the most part. I will say I was really interested in what happened to the family. I know there's a controversy whether these events really happened or if the author just pretended that all this stuff happened. I need to look more into it because I'm actually very, very curious about that. But yeah, I overall enjoyed it, but it wasn't something that I was like dying to pick up. I was enjoying listening to it because I was packing and driving and stuff like that, and I still was engaged the whole time. That's why I'm giving it a 3.5 star rating. But just purely on the story and how it was written, it wasn't amazing in my opinion. I will say, so the priest is talked about, basically there's a priest who is sort of involved in this family's case because he goes to bless the house in the beginning of the book, and after he leaves, he has all these negative things start happening to him physically, like he gets sick. Without going into too much detail, just a lot of bad things start happening to him, and he's really focused on in the book, but in my opinion, I was just not really interested in that. So every time the priest was talked about, I was kind of like not paying a ton of attention, whereas when the family was talked about, I was paying a lot of attention. So I wasn't very interested in the part about the priest. Whenever George was talked to about sensitivities and people with sensitivities, he was always really confused, which I thought was so weird because it's like in the book they talk about him looking into maybe the paranormal and what's going on, and yet when someone said like, oh, there may be something going on and we want somebody who's sensitive to come in your house, he was like, what does that mean? I'm so confused. And I was just confused how he wouldn't understand that, yeah, like paranormally sensitive. Like that was just weird to me. So that was odd to me. Ed and Lorraine Warren were also mentioned and came into the house, and I thought it was cool to hear their names mentioned because they were very involved in the paranormal investigative world. And if you don't know, all of the Conjuring movies have to do with Ed and Lorraine Warren, kind of going into these cases and what they discover. So I thought that was really cool, and I liked hearing their names. Overall, I'm really happy I read this book. It was fun, and I like that I consumed it via audiobook. Again, there was a part that actually kind of freaked me out involving a pig, and pigs, for some reason, whenever they're mentioned, are just creepy to me in horror. I think Animal Farm kind of made pigs scary to me. In real life, I'm not scared of pigs, but when they're mentioned in books, they just kind of creep me out. So yeah, those are my final thoughts on the Amityville Horror. I think tonight I'm going to watch the original, and I'm really excited to get this vlog out. Okay, so I'm looking on my computer right now, and I found this article, and it's titled "The Real Story Behind the Infamous Amityville Horror House." And I found some interesting things in this, so I want to read you what it says. The Lutzes later collaborated with author Jay Anson for his best-selling book. The family has said that they'd never signed a contract with Anson, and that the tome and successful film spin-off netted them $300,000. Also, many people expressed doubts about their horror story, which fell under even more scrutiny after DeFeo's defense attorney, William Weber, admitted he and the couple came up with the tale over several bottles of wine, which is very interesting and not what was portrayed in the book. We took real-life incidents and transposed them. Weber reportedly said on the TV program A Current Affair in May 1988, in other words, it was a hoax. Still, George, who died in 2006, maintained that the story was the real deal, telling ABC, "I can just say what I experienced." So I'm going to link this article about everything that happened with the infamous Amityville Horror event in the bio if you want to look at it. It's from New York Post. So I just found this article really interesting. It was published in 2021, actually March 16th. So it's pretty recent. So that completes my vlog, my birthday vlog, and also my last week kind of normally in Waco. I will be releasing a vlog where I am packing up everything and moving, but for now that's all. And I did end up watching the original Amityville Horror. I did have fun watching it. It was a much better done movie. It was not cheesy, and it was just really well done. However, I will say it wasn't scary, but there was a little charm to it being very old. So anyway, I will talk to you all soon. Bye.